Have you noticed the pattern yet where Jesus is turning our normal prayers upside down? Here's another example. Your will be done. Very famous words. And hello, everyone. This is Jeremy Weimer. I am the author of the book Gospel Bootcamp, and today we are in part 4 of a series on how to pray as Jesus taught. And it's from the Sermon on the Mount, it's from the Lord's Prayer, and that's found in Matthew chapter 6. So the key word in this phrase today, in this your will be done phrase, is the word will, and it's the Greek word thelema. And it means like what a person desires, or it's what a person would wish for. It can mean what's pleasing to you, and then the term that I'm going to use the most today is what someone wants. Very simple, right? So plug that meaning in to the phrase that Jesus gives us in his instructions, and it comes out something like this. God, please make sure that what you want is what happens. So the upside down part of this instruction on prayer is pretty obvious. Jesus isn't teaching us to ask for what we desire. I think he probably assumes we're already going to mention that, right? What he instructs us to do is to pray for what God wants, which is really interesting, right? So hopefully this reminds you, it reminds me of when Jesus was praying in the garden. So think about that, because he's kind of taking his own instructions on prayer right here, which is neat to me. It's kind of nice to see Jesus is not a hypocrite. And so he says, Father, let this cup of suffering pass from me. So he kind of asks what he wants. He mentions what he wants first. And then he says, but not my will, yours be done. Not what I want ultimately, God. Really, what I'm asking for is for what you want to be done. And I just love that. This really hits home for me. I love the depth of it. I love the sincerity of it and the genuineness of a prayer like that. But man, when I think about medical challenges that my family faces, and I think about financial pressures that seem to always be hanging around, and relationship conflict, like to pray, God, you know the specifics of the situation that I would pick if it was my choice. And I kind of like my ideas, Lord. I think they're pretty good, but I do trust that your ways are better, God, and that your plan is best. And so my real request, when you boil down and get rid of all the fluff, is God, make sure to get what you want. And the next phrase follows in pretty well. Like here on earth, God, in these everyday situations, in these challenging circumstances, in me and in my own heart, God, just as in heaven, get what you want. So my encouragement to y'all today is, by all means, pray this way. You will be so glad that you did, because when you don't, and you just kind of always maybe demanding, God, give me what I want, then it can be really tough. You kind of button heads with God a lot of times like that. So share what you want, just like Jesus did. It's good to mention it, but don't stop there with just what you personally want. I really encourage you to ask God, okay, I surrender, and I trust that what you want is actually better for everyone, including me. All right, now y'all also may have noticed that I like to give a little bonus prayer at the end, kind of my own personal spin on these. And so for this phrase, I would say, God, like while you're doing what you want, because that's what I'm asking for. While you're doing that, would you line up my heart with yours? Just align me and help me, God, to want what you want. And I'll tell y'all, that's kind of my little sneaky way of getting what I want to. Because if God changes my heart and he makes me where I want what he wants, I kind of know he's going to do that. And so then I get to get what I want to, which is nice. It's a slow process, but stick with it. So if this has helped you, if this little video has encouraged you and challenged you to add a little depth to your prayer, a little surrender, a little more trust in your prayer life, I would ask that you like my page, that you subscribe and share it with a friend or two. and I look forward to talking with you again soon.